and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
So we see, y'all, we deal with a clean God. So even that deal with Mark 7 where he said he was complaining about washing hands, our God ain't talking about eating with dirty hands. He's just saying you just can't take it to that level like that about some commandments and writing. When right here, he's telling us constantly you got to wash every day. This is a washing every day, ain't it? Whatever you do, it got to be washing your body.
Yes, sir.
And the main thing was when a visitor came, you washed their feet. Who doing that? Man, get out them shoes. Where you walk from the bus? Where you get let off at? Oh, down the way down there. Get out of them shoes. Get that bucket of water, man. Hey, what's been happening, dog? You ain't been Christ washed the disciples' feet.
I know people have nice houses. They go and say, when you enter the house, take your shoes off so their carpet don't get dirty. But I ain't seen nobody talking about washing no feet.
They don't want what's that Stanley there too soon. The carpet clean. That's what they say. Brotherly love. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 11. And whomsoever he toucheth that has the issue, and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
See, now he said the issue and you touch hands and haven't washed his hands. That's why they say if you got a cold, always do what? Wash your hands. What's the most dangerous thing to touch right now? They say it's a doorknob. Hey, we have the most disease on the elevator, but then the doorknob's going to be first. You almost going to turn the door. Wherever you're going, you got to touch something. Wash your hands. That's why we got hand sanitizer back there. No, you can't be scratching it and see, oh, they close. Get that bread. So no, use the hand sanitizer.
So symbolically, we know Yeshua says, behold, I stand at the door and knock in Revelation. Sanitize your heart before you open.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, y'all. Let's read a little bit more, y'all. We're about to close out about 10 minutes. Y'all got 3 more scripts.
Verse 12. And the vessel of the earth that he toucheth, which hath the issue, shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water.
See, so now, that means you got to get all them dishes. Family Dollar going to go up. Because you said if he sip out the cup, it ain't no good. You can't sip out of that no more. But when Christ has come in, y'all have to understand, if you see somebody come in with hack, it's your consciousness to tell somebody, no, even your better half, give me a sip of that Pepsi. And you know you hacking it and need some mucilage. Why are you going to ask for that? Why are you going to pass that on to her? And I'm talking about turn it up and be spit like that. Let's get some more, y'all. What we here?
Verse 13. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number him to himself 7 days for his cleansing.
You see a man been put out for 7 days, ladies? 7 days, put out. The Most High say, before you get down again, make sure this amount of time to clear it out. Go ahead.
Then shall he number to himself 7 days for his cleansing, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean. And on the 8th day...
So that running water, what, a shower?
Shower.
Bathe yourself. See, the Most High ain't talking about, he's saying he talking about eating with unwashed hands. He ain't talking about no just dirty and eat like that man they had in the daily meal. They say he ain't took a bath in 60 years. This ain't what the Messiah's talking about. Did y'all see that? And smoking camel dung in a pipe. They talking about he looking for a woman. Y'all get that? Get on the daily meal and do. Man hasn't taken a bath in 60 years.
He's saying South Saudi Arabia.
Go ahead. Where we at?
Verse 14. And on the 8th day,
right,
he shall take to him 2 turtle doves,
right,
or 2 young pigeons,
Right.
and come before the Lord unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and give them unto the priest.
So this is a man offering up for his issue. You have to go to the Lord with that. Go in your closet, man, if that's the problem of a running issue. You have to go. So see, immediately when a child or these things happen to them, they come up under this law. But the only way that can happen to a child is if a child been doing something he should not be doing as a child. Where else a child gonna get a running issue from?
Right.
Go ahead.
15. And the priest shall offer them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Most High for his issue.
So we know every word saying offer, sacrifice, Christ is that according to Hebrews 10th chapter. So you go to Christ. Lord, forgive me for that, not thinking wisely, not preparing my food right. Because like I say, a lot of these things can come from eating. We can eat too much. Do you know you could drink too much water? There's something called water intoxication.
Right.
If you 5 foot nothing and 102 pounds and you drink 8 cups of water, you are going to wash out every nutrient out of your body. You're going to cramp up and have what's called water intoxication and may die from it. You got to be careful on how much water you drink, how much food you eat. You be a glutton then. So it ain't just talking about the things, it's talking about things we're supposed to be doing. You can't just gobble up because it's lamb, and you just, because it's dirty, you just keep eating because you see it. Go ahead. It's long, y'all.
16. If any man's seed of copulation.
If any man's seed of what?
Copulation.
So now we're talking about the age of accountability. This is the age right here. Until a boy can do this, you're responsible for your son. Teaching him the right way. Once he do this, it's up to him now, because if he don't tell you, he's unclean. He's continually being unclean if you don't know about it. So once you hear his voice change, you're like, uh-oh, it's time for this boy to start doing these washing laws, because it may be dangerous and I got to go to work. And I saw that little hot-tail gal next door keep winking. I got to go to work. Let's get it. Where we at?
16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh.
How much of his flesh?
All his
You
flesh.
just can't wash your monkey back. I mean, I understand you're in a hurry, late for work or something, got to end late, you can monkey back and get back out there. But when this seed of copulation go, you got to wash everything. You can't monkey back that way. Go ahead.
Then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the evening.
Right?
And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with the water and be unclean until the evening.
So, y'all, the Most High is even regulating so you don't become a nymphomaniac once a day. Really, on the right thing, it's supposed to be that. Because you're unclean unto evening, even if it's a righteous being fruitful and multiplying. It's still unclean to evening for that day. But if you can't help yourself and you just got to have, it's a term how they call it, he's got the white lip. He can't get enough. A woman be like, man, just go around the corner anywhere. I just can't take that. No, because there has to be ceremonial cleansing of yourself from that, because that will be the only thing you talk about all day. You'll start to brag about it. How good I am 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. Go ahead, y'all.
A white lip.
Hey, that's what they call it, the white lip. Go ahead.
18. The woman also with whom man shall lie.
But see, y'all see what we are talking about?
Yep.
This is one-on-one knowing education. Go ahead.
The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until evening.
See, this is just saying after that. It ain't saying nothing, it's just saying the seed of copulation. Copulation meaning intercourse. When you and your woman get up, let's hit the water. y'all can't go nowhere smelling like pork and rice. It's gonna be. Hey, because what you gonna say?
I think it was pork. I thought it was fish.
Go ahead. Let's get it. Y'all been there for 5 minutes and 37 seconds. Who got a question? Go ahead, Tom.
When he referred to unclean to the evening, is that because
New day started. New day, don't worry about the things for tomorrow because that's going to be a new day tomorrow. Take care of the things today. And then tomorrow will take care of itself. But you can't bring drama into tomorrow because now drama is tomorrow. And when you're thinking about drama tomorrow, then it causes stress. And stress causes high blood pressure. Stress busts pipes. Because you're thinking about it tomorrow. Take care of it today.
Matthew chapter 6.
If your foot green, go to the hospital. Don't wait till tomorrow. It ain't supposed to be green. Let's read some more, y'all.
Verse 19.
You got 4 minutes now. Go ahead.
And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood,
Right.
she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the evening.
So this is where it gets into the part. The only time this becomes felony if a man touch her or different things, this comes into the norm. He knowingly knows that this issue is this time of the month. And he's like, girl, and that's why you can't have the white liver, because that time won't mean nothing to you. You be like, put a little soap on it, girl, that's something. I'm ready to go. This was what the Most High was explaining in Ezekiel 18. This is why he's saying, this is so abominable, this is a felony. If you do this, if you enjoy uncleanliness.
Felony red letter.
Look, I mean, it ain't changed, it's still the same test today. Will a man go to the store for his woman at that time? If she can't get out of the bed, but just, that's a woman's issue. You gotta be already stocked up.
Right.
Because a man gets there and they feet price on her. Price check on super. No, baby, it's more.
Verse 20. Everything that she shall lie upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean.
So right here, y'all, that will create a major need problem today. You got to have 2 bedrooms, you got to separate all the stuff, deliver that. We're going to hit a couple scriptures, y'all, for close to Christ, but I'm going to list everything else. I'm going to write them down that we couldn't get to today and show you the different ways of how a bad situation was made clean. You know, even like if a child was born a bastard. In Genesis 11, one boy was like that. They looked at him and like, man, you don't know who your dad is. But in the end, the spirit jumped on him because the Most High, that wasn't, he didn't pick his daddy, mama. The spirit came on him because he kept the law, and they ended up having to come back and holler at him. The ones who knew who their daddy was. So y'all, it ain't, don't feel like, you don't ever want to feel like the Lord knows you no more. Because of an act you did, unless the act has been rejection of his commandments and you've been defiled and told somebody you don't have to do that no more. Don't care about the law. What kind of God y'all got always making y'all stand in check? Do what thou wilt.
Like Saul.
No, we can't do that. Let's read a little bit more of this, y'all. We're going to close out. I want to hit just 2 in Matthew, and we're going to close out, but I'm going to write down the rest of them on here, and y'all make sure y'all write them down because they go into the same thing of clean and unclean. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 21. And whosoever shall toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening.
Right.
And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in the water and be unclean until the evening.
So if I get on the bus and I just sit down behind a woman and guy like that, am I guilty if I get up and didn't know that? I'm going to know that. I'm an old place. So y'all, we have to understand, people are asking the Most High, well, Lord, what about the situation? So y'all, look before you sit down. Check some things out. If you hear it hacking and walking, if things don't look right or smell right, wait before you just grab a spoonful of something. Check it out. Y'all read all of that, y'all. We ain't gonna get into a little bit more of that, but because of the time's sake, let's go to Matthew chapter 9. We're gonna hit Matthew 9, Matthew 14, and John, and we're gonna close out, y'all. And I'm just writing the rest of them on the board, and y'all get a chance. And like say, Judges 13 is Samson's mama getting ready for his birth. The Most High told her what she couldn't eat. Y'all make sure y'all read that Judges 11 of this boy that mother was a harlot, that they was pointing and saying, your mom is a harlot, you don't know who your daddy is. But you'll see in that 11th chapter what they end up doing. Begging this boy who didn't know who his natural birth father was. Let's get that Matthew, y'all. All of these, I'll write them down. Y'all make sure y'all read them. Write all these down if you ain't got them, and study them yourself if you need to talk about it. And also that number 6 of a Nazarite. You know, y'all make sure it also is Psalm 105, touching up my anointed, because it's something here where Christ could not be touched after he was resurrected for a certain amount of time. And he'll explain that when he came back, there's reasons for it, because he was taking over the priesthood the same way. At certain times you can come near a priest doing this when the Lord has consecrated him, because he has been set aside to be made holy. You know. And David in the showbread. You know, so we want to check that out too, and that's in Christ speaks about that in Matthew 12, verse 3, and it's backed up in 1 Samuel. And you'll see what allowed him to be able to eat the showbread. Y'all, they came down to the same thing. Have your men been with any winter? David said, not for the last 3 days, and I'm sure about that. Feel like they can eat it. Y'all, so y'all have to understand that first commandment, be fruitful and multiply. Satan has taken that and turned it another way. And please read Ezekiel 18, because it really gets into the felony law. Even if a man been righteous his whole life and turned, like Solomon, he got weak at anger and was doing all manner of things with women. Y'all, we're going to hit these last two. Y'all, we're going to close out. Y'all write all of them down and check them out. Also, this John 20 and 7. These other ones that we don't go over, I'm just writing down. If you, next week, if we get to, if y'all have on your mind, just next week, bring them back up again. You know, there was that John 20, I had a problem with what you wrote up there concerning that. And those will be covered in the first half, and then the lesson will go on. Go ahead, y'all. Let's read this Matthew chapter 9:20. We're going to get out of here, y'all. We got that Matthew 14, y'all. We're going to close today because this is very important. And this is talking about a woman that had an issue but was healed. But was healed of the Christ. For that, and what we see now is the order of Melchizedek coming in, because you couldn't touch a priest at all. You couldn't touch the hem of his garment at certain times. So when Christ came, a lot of that changed, and what we mean is changed from the beginning. Christ don't ever want to look at one of his offspring as something happening to you, and then you're no good from then on out. He gave Cain another chance. Then what he tell him is, you do right, you didn't sacrifice right, man, get with the program. Did he give Cain another chance?
Yep, it's not the same life.
Let's get it. Where we at? Absolutely, brother.
Matthew chapter 9, verse 20.
You need to back up any of you good right there? Okay. All right.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
And behold, a woman which was diseased.
What was she?
Diseased.
See, disease, y'all. Disease or dis-ease. D-I-S-E. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 15 say, if we follow the laws, we shall have ease. If you fail, Deuteronomy 15 through 68, you will have dis-ease or disease. It's going to come upon you.
You will have an issue.
Because you keep doing it, it's going to create a disease. Go ahead.
And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years.
How many years?
12 years.
How is she still still alive.
How?
That's what I want to know first off. But it lets you know it's not unto death, because that's a process that was put down in Genesis 3rd chapter. You know, it was written in the heavenly tablets, but punishment came behind it because there was disrespect with that first commandment. So punishment have to come behind it. Wouldn't have been no hollering during childbirth. Go ahead.
Came behind him and touched the hem of his garment.
What did she touch?
The hem of his garment.
See, now, this is the key right here. This is what the Pharisees had problems because of Haggai 2:10. Give me Haggai 2:10 right quick, somebody. And then we're going to finish reading that. So, because this was the deal when Haggai, when the prophet was asking the priest, what's the deal? It said somebody touched the hem of the garment. We're going to see how Christ changed that, because she would have been condemned. She spent all her money at the doctor's office. All she had. She was dead broke, and they was ready to subscribe another medicine. Right here, there's some bubble gum mixed with something. It should swell up in there. That should stop.
You said Haggai, bro.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
2 and 10.
2 and 10. Where we at? Read that for me right quick.
Haggai 2 and 10. In the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Most High by Haggai the prophet, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, ask now the priest concerning the law, saying,
Concerning the what?
the law, saying, if one bear holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and with his skirt do touch bread, or pottage, or wine, or oil, or any meat, shall it be holy? And the priest answered and said, No.
So if wine, corn, and that couldn't touch a priest's garment, this is why they were looking at Christ. She physically touched him. And but Christ was saying, look, corn and wine, that come a dime a dozen, but these are human beings that I made corn and wine first for. See, if he made man for the Sabbath for man, not man for the Sabbath, do you understand what that means? I didn't create a Sabbath day and then I made a man. The Sabbath, man on 6 days, Sabbath on the 7th day. It's a rest tool, just like what he's putting down right here. Can anything touch a holy man, so to speak? Like you see, Creflo Dollar got one video where he said he goes in his anointing room and none of his members can touch him at that time.
Yeah, his throne room.
He's looking up proud in his throne room. Don't use that. No. So in this sense, but what she did, she reached out. Read a little bit more than that.
Verse 13. Then said Haggai, if one that is unclean by dead body touch any of these, shall it be unclean?
Right.
And the priest answered and said, it shall be unclean.
See, right here, you couldn't touch a dead body. And if church is a sanctuary, you really ain't supposed to have a dead body. The highest funerals at churches if it's the house of God.
Chop.
Let's get it. What we at?
Then answered Haggai and said, so is this people, and so is this nation before me, save the Most High, and so is every work of their hand, and that which they offer there is unclean.
See right here, because at that point in time you couldn't touch, but this woman, her faith at this point, she like, I done spent every quarter I own, the borrowed money and spent it up, and I'm still got this running issue. This is where the chief healer comes in. A doctor tell you that, they're like, look, we done run out of medicine. We done run out of everything. If it's short of a miracle, you out of here. Ooh, call Austin Lane, and y'all get that ready. Unless a miracle happens.
But what did Christ say in the words in red? A well man don't need to seek a physician.
That's right. Go ahead. Where we at? Back to Matthew, y'all. We're going to close out. We got that in chapter 20, y'all. Did y'all read all of that? Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 9, verse 21.
You'll see Acts 19 as well, where Paul had the handkerchief. But Paul was there, but he like, look, this will get you hold. Look, if however your faith believe in this, understand this thing, if you believe I'm a commandment keeper, it's not that handkerchief, it's really your faith. Just like getting dipped in water. It's not the water, it's your faith that believe when I come up, I'm going to be whole. But it's the right process. Go ahead, let's read that.
Verse 21. For she said within herself, if I may touch his garment, I shall be whole.
What should she be made?
She shall be whole.
See, she wasn't thinking about about a 12-step program and just saying, I'm looking for a cure. I'm sick of this. They pointing fingers at me. Nobody sits behind me. You know, after 12 years, everybody know about this. Everywhere she go, she come out the bathroom, it's gonna be dirty look. Get the remote control, hurry up. It's nothing she touched. Because in your mind, she just came from fixing that. You think they're gonna let her cook spaghetti? No, but all this woman's out there.
God,
Let's get some more. Go ahead.
verse 22. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole.
What made her whole, y'all?
Thy faith hath made thee whole.
Right, go ahead.
And the woman was made whole from that hour.
See, it ain't no 12-step program, it's that hour. Right then and there, the deal is done. Y'all, we're gonna hit this whole end. Let's get right over to Matthew chapter 14, verse 34. Y'all, we're gonna close on out. And I have to mention about the sign-up list back there on that back table for the Passover. Sis got a couple of lists for the food and the participation log she has, so we got all those out. And y'all, all of that fallen brother S-Bond Big C left us all of those charts that we can carry on, y'all. This is what we talk about. Leave something behind for the camp to continue on. He didn't know his day of death was going to be that instant like that. One day you right here, the next day off the lane signing papers. But he left us charts and different things to make sure we stay in a good financial way, or to the point that where we are structured. And everybody, and if it's a no funny stuff, no, get your name on the list, let's get your name on the list. Let's do this right. Go ahead, brother. Matthew 12, 14, 34, y'all, we close out.
Matthew chapter 14, verse 34.
Yes, sir.
And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret.
Yes, sir.
And when the men of that place had knowledge of him, they sent him out into all that country round about, and brought unto him all that were diseased.
Right.
And besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment. And as many as touched were made perfectly whole.
See, so this lets you know that there was any disease that touched the hem of garment, or the law, statutes, and judgment, the commandments of Christ. See, this is a whole different deal. The other priests, you couldn't come there. He was the only one to go back in the holies of holies. But with Christ, it switches the order up for self-check. And this is where it comes down like Numbers 9. Make sure y'all write that down. That was the second Passover. Y'all, we have to understand these things. Women, if you know it's like that, if you gonna come anyway because you worried about something else, you thinking about the wrong thing for the Passover anyway. Govern yourself. You ain't gonna, if you die, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. And you over there pulling like this. Oh, that's a bad deal. Or a brother over there just trying to keep scratching and puffing. Stay at home. You have to make these conscious decisions and get in on the next Passover. Don't bring that consciously. Understand, you're the temple. You cannot bring defilements in that sense. If you got it in check, we don't know, because we don't know what's going on with nobody in there. Can't nobody, it wasn't no sin checker through the door when you come through. Get out. Get out. Get out of here. No, so we have to take it on the word washes all of us clean while we're here in the assembly. Did we finish that?
Yeah.
Okay. What song we got, y'all?
Hell.
Luke Matthew 6.
Was the prices about the same?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah. Also, y'all, we got the food list, y'all. We're going to do a little something different, y'all, because we had overcooking at last year's Passover. Sisters are going to put together a 5-course meal or whatever course they're going to put together. So, if you see stuff on there, y'all, we can't overdo it. It's gonna be regulated, we're gonna take the names and we're gonna break it down and understand. We want everybody to participate, but we don't want to do overkill.
That's right.
There's a cleanup and setup list for you if your paper running a little short, because we have to present tickets for the Passover. To keep everything in line, y'all, we have to say it's an expensive event, but we don't want to make you feel like you can't come because there's a price. There's an